Most anglers think spending more on a reel automatically means catching more fish. But the reality is, the difference between a $30 reel and a $3,000 reel has almost nothing to do with catching ability. Across 7 distinct levels, what you're actually paying for is durability, materials, and purpose, not just performance. By the end of this countdown, you'll know exactly where to invest your money and where anglers overpay for branding alone. We're starting at the bottom, with the cheapest reels on the rack. In the 7th place, entry-level utility reels set the baseline for affordability and simplicity. These are the reels you'll find bundled with a basic rod at the local hardware store, with graphite-infused polymer bodies, injection-molded construction, and a single ball bearing tucked inside. The Zebco 202 is a classic example, often sold for under $35 and designed for the backyard pond or a quick trip to the local lake. At just about 120 grams, these reels feel light in the hand, but their minimal drag system, rated for no more than 4 pounds, means they're best suited for panfish or small crappie. The drag slips early, usually above 3 pounds of pressure, and after a season of regular use, especially in brackish water, the housing starts to soften around the seams. Most anglers notice the bearing begin to feel fuzzy after about 150 casts, and the performance drop-off is clear after a year. While corrosion isn't an immediate problem thanks to the polymer shell, long-term durability is limited. These reels offer the lowest price point and the most basic materials, making them ideal for beginners or those who fish only a handful of times each summer. For anyone looking to catch bigger fish or fish more often, the weaknesses of this tier become obvious, setting the stage for the upgrades found in the next level. In the 6th place, budget workhorse reels introduce a meaningful leap in both materials and longevity for the average lake angler. These reels trade the light, sometimes fragile polymer bodies of entry-level models for die-cast 6061 T6 aluminum housings, finished with a hard anodized layer that resists pitting and surface corrosion. For weekend bass fishing or regular freshwater outings, this upgrade is more than cosmetic. Field tests show these aluminum frames add about 30 grams over plastic, bringing the reel to roughly 150 grams. But the payoff is a body that resists flex under load and shrugs off 3 years of brackish water exposure without visible corrosion. The anodized finish, tested in independent pit-free corrosion trials, holds up where painted or clear-coated reels begin to show wear after a single season. Inside, an oil reservoir cavity extends bearing life to around 400 casts before maintenance is needed, double the lifespan of basic models. With 5 to 7 ball bearings and a drag system rated up to 12 pounds with only 5% slip, these reels handle largemouth bass and the occasional channel catfish with confidence. The Fluger President XT stands out in this tier, offering reliable performance at a price point of $60 to $85. For anglers who fish lakes regularly but don't want to overinvest, this level marks the first real step up in durability and smoothness without jumping into the world of high-end or specialized gear. In the 5th place, serious angler reels mark a clear transition from hobbyist equipment to tournament-ready gear. At this level, frames are milled from solid 7075 T6 aluminum or lightweight magnesium blocks using CNC machining, holding tolerances down to just 0.02 of a millimeter. The result is a body that resists flex even under heavy load, with gear meshes that run at over 96% efficiency. Magnesium models like the Shimano Stratic FL push the weight down to around 110 grams, making long days on the water less fatiguing without sacrificing strength. Inside, these reels feature sealed drag cartridges engineered to keep water, dust, and salt out. Independent tests show that after 100 hours of continuous use, these sealed systems still retain 90% of their original drag pressure, a major advantage for anglers who fish in both freshwater and brackish environments. The drag itself is rated for 15 to 20 pounds, enough to handle trophy bass or inshore redfish with confidence. 8 or 9 ball bearings, all shielded, keep the retrieve smooth under torque, while the precision-machined gears all but eliminate the subtle grinding felt in lower tiers. What you're paying for here is not just smoother operation, but long-term reliability. These reels are built to endure repeated tournament use, rain, mud, or salt spray, without the need for constant maintenance. For most anglers, this is the point where spending more actually yields measurable gains in performance and longevity. It's also where specialization begins to matter, with models tailored for finesse, power, or high-speed applications. While the price tag climbs to the $250 to $350 range, the value comes from engineering and materials, not just branding. For those fishing every weekend or stepping into competition, this level sets a new standard for what a reel can deliver. In the fourth place, technique-specific reels represent a turning point where advanced materials and targeted engineering start to shape the fishing experience. These reels are built for anglers who want more than general-purpose performance. Think surf casting, finesse pitching, or skipping lures under docks, where a standard model just won't cut it. The hallmark here is a hybrid construction, a carbon fiber reinforced polymer shell layered over an inner aluminum frame. This combination delivers a measurable boost in stiffness. Lab tests show a 20% gain over pure aluminum, while keeping weight under control for long casting sessions. But the real leap comes from the integration of magnetic braking systems. These brakes use a set of rare earth magnets and a rotating steel plate to create a variable, self-adjusting resistance on the spool. In controlled field tests, reels like the Daiwa Fuego baitcaster cut backlash rates by 60% compared to traditional friction brakes, especially when casting lighter lures or battling crosswinds at the beach. The result is fewer bird's nests and less time spent untangling line, even for anglers still perfecting their thumb control. Water resistance also takes a step forward at this level. The carbon shell is treated with a super hydrophobic coating inspired by marine nanotechnology that reduces water and salt adherence by 70% during salt spray exposure. After a day along the surf, these reels show almost no salt crust or drag stutter, a real advantage for anyone fishing in brackish or saltwater environments. Inside, 9 to 10 ball bearings keep retrieves smooth, while the drag system, rated for 12 to 16 pounds, delivers steady pressure without sudden slips. Gear ratios climb as high as 8.0 to 1, giving the angler rapid line pickup for fast-moving targets or quick lure presentations. At a price point between $180 and $250, technique-specific reels offer tangible upgrades for anglers chasing specialized techniques. They're not about raw power or luxury materials, but about functional advantages, less flex, fewer tangles, and longer service life, where it matters most for dedicated weekend warriors and aspiring tournament competitors. In the third place, premium performance reels push the boundaries of what most serious anglers ever thought possible from a spinning reel. The leap begins with magnesium-carbon hybrid bodies, engineered for both strength and featherweight handling. At just 80 grams, these reels feel almost weightless, yet they hold up under pressure that would flex or fatigue lesser frames. The real star, though, is the integration of silicon nitride ceramic bearings paired with carbon fiber spools. Ceramic bearings slash friction by 60% compared to traditional stainless steel, a difference you can feel the first time you turn the handle. The result is a retrieve so smooth it borders on effortless, and a 10% gain in casting distance that shows up in side-by-side field tests with identical line and lure weight. Drag systems at this level are sealed, built to withstand 200 hours of saltwater exposure while retaining 95% of their rated power, 20 to 30 pounds of drag, more than enough for inshore redfish or even small tarpon. Independent torque gauge tests confirm less than 0.02 Newton-meters of loss under full load, meaning the power you set is the power you get, cast after cast. After a full season in brackish water, corrosion is almost non-existent, and the carbon fiber spool resists the micro-pitting that plagues aluminum under salt spray. For anglers fishing every weekend, or those who demand flawless performance in high-stakes situations, this is where the investment starts to pay off. Brands like Daiwa's Certede LT have become the benchmark in this category, delivering tournament-grade smoothness and reliability without the sky-high price of pro-level titanium reels. At $400 to $500, the upgrade is real. Lighter weight, longer casts, and drag systems that simply don't quit. But the margins begin to narrow here. While the performance is unmistakable, the returns start to diminish for anyone not pushing their gear to the edge. For most, This is the point where material science and engineering deliver their biggest impact before the next jump in price starts to chase luxury and exclusivity more than practical advantage. In the second place, professional-grade reels stand as the peak of functional performance before the world of collector exclusives begins. These reels are built for the angler who spends long days offshore, chasing tuna or amberjack in salt-laden air where failure is not an option. The defining feature is the housing, machined from Ti6Al4V titanium, an alloy with a tensile strength over 900 megapascals. This material shrugs off flex and corrosion, even after 3 years of continuous saltwater immersion, with zero visible pitting under a microscope. Weight drops to around 70 grams, yet torque capacity doubles compared to aluminum frames, giving the angler absolute confidence when a big fish surges. Inside, the drag system is engineered for relentless pressure. Additive manufacturing enables internal oil channels that keep the drag stack cool and consistent, even during extended runs at 40 to 50 pounds of drag. In standardized bench tests, these reels retain 98% of their drag force after 500 hours at a constant 45-pound load, a figure that matters when a tournament fish makes a blistering run and the gear cannot afford to fade. The drag remains smooth, with less than 5% slip, and the sealed system blocks out water, salt, and sand. Bearings are another leap forward. 11 or 12 high-precision units, often with ceramic coatings, extend the reel's cast life well past 10,000 cycles before any hint of roughness appears. The retrieve stays buttery smooth, even after a full season of hard use. With a price tag between $900 to $1,200, models like the Shimano Stella SW have become the reference point for offshore professionals. These reels are not about luxury, they are tools, refined for reliability under the harshest conditions. For the angler who fishes blue water week after week, this level marks the practical ceiling, where every dollar buys measurable gains in strength, drag stability, and corrosion resistance. Beyond this, upgrades begin to chase rarity and prestige rather than true performance. And finally, in first place, collector and ultra-high-end reels occupy a world where rarity, craftsmanship, and prestige drive the price far beyond what most anglers will ever pay. These reels aren't just tools, they're statements of engineering ambition and exclusivity, with price tags that routinely cross $2,000. The Daiwa Saltist Ultra Limited offers a glimpse into this rarefied tier, a limited run of just 150 units per model, each hand-assembled in a clean room to prevent even microscopic dust from contaminating the ceramic bearings. Every part is measured to within 0.005 of a millimeter, a tolerance tighter than most aerospace components. The gears are coated in diamond-like carbon, or DLC, a material with a hardness of around 70 gigapascals, several times harder than hardened steel. This surface shrugs off abrasion and salt, and field reports from early adopters suggest that after a decade of heavy use, the teeth show no measurable wear. The drag system here is engineered for endurance, with some manufacturers claiming 0% loss of drag force after 1,000 hours at 60 pounds of load. While these numbers await independent verification, the reputation for relentless smoothness is reinforced by the use of hand-lapped ceramic bearings, which generate almost no friction or heat, even under sustained pressure. At just 65 grams, these reels feel impossibly light, yet their torque capacity and resistance to flex surpass anything found at lower tiers. Each reel is serialized, its number engraved on the body, and a certificate of authenticity accompanies every unit, an appeal to collectors as much as to performance-obsessed anglers. But for all these advances, the practical on-the-water advantage is marginal. In side-by-side torque tests with professional-grade reels from the previous tier, the difference in drag consistency and smoothness is measurable but subtle, well within the limits of what even seasoned anglers can detect during a fight. The real value at this level is exclusivity, the knowledge that only a handful of others in the world own the same reel, and that the materials and assembly process push the boundaries of what's possible in fishing gear. For most, these reels represent the pinnacle of branding, collector culture, and engineering for its own sake, rather than a direct path to more fish in the boat. This final tier brings the countdown full circle. The leap in price here is driven by materials and scarcity, not by game-changing increases in catch rate or durability for everyday use. For the vast majority of anglers, skill, technique, and experience on the water will always matter more than the serial number on a reel. The best gear is the one that fits your fishing style and brings confidence to every cast, not the one with the highest price tag or the rarest alloy. Across all 7 tiers, one truth stands out. Price tags reflect materials, workmanship, and specialization, not fish-catching magic. The real advantage comes from matching your reel to your style and needs, not chasing prestige. Whether you're casting for fun or entering tournaments, skill and time on the water will always outweigh what's printed on a box. In fishing, performance is earned, not bought.